Hi everyone. So I was just remembering how passionate I was back in February about poetry from treetops. It didn't last long getting back to Pittsburgh winter and not being quite as excited about climbing with my cell phone into an icy tree. But I still am very excited about sharing poetry and discussing poetry, and I'm actually going to be launching a course here very soon that I've kind of been teasing for a while on magical writing that I believe I'm redubbing the Poetic Flame. You'll be seeing about that soon. But first, in my research about the pieces that I'm wanting to use as inspiration and discussion in my course, I found this Rumi poem by my favorite translator of Rumi, Coleman Parks. I was just like, this is just so perfect. It just encapsulates everything that I see as my personal kind of magical mission in the world. And, really only poetry for me. Like, I mean, this is this is a mage versus mystic argument that I often find myself in with my husband. And of course, they're just different perspectives on the same piece, but I'm much more the mystic, right? And much more the poet, and he's more the philosopher and the logician and the mathematician, which kind of goes more with the mage end of things. We can talk more about the classic mage versus mystic debate later. But for now, this piece is just, it's called Dying Laughing. And it just perfectly exemplifies that journey into that mystical state of unity that, that I seek. So here we go. Rumi's Dying Laughing. A lover was telling his beloved how much he loved her, how faithful he had been, how self-sacrificing, getting up at dawn every morning, fasting, giving up wealth, strength, and fame, all for her. There was a fire in him. He didn't know where it came from, but it made him weep and melt like a candle. "You've done well," she said. "But listen to me. All of this is the decor of love. The branches and its leaves and its blossoms. You must live at the roots to be a true lover." "Where is that? Tell me." "You've done the outward acts, but you haven't died. You must die." When he heard that, he lay back on the ground laughing and died. He opened like a rose that drops to the ground, and he died laughing. That laughter was his freedom and his gift to the eternal. As moonlight shines back at the sun, he heard the call to come home and went. When light returns to its source, it takes nothing of what it has illuminated. It may have shone on a garbage dump or a garden or in the center of a human eye, no matter. It goes, and when it does, the open plain becomes passionately desolate, wanting it back. So I feel like that's just so perfect, right? That idea that death is to be laughed at, right? That we can actually die laughing. Because on the other end of what we're so terrified of is exactly what we've always wanted. And the rest is just flirtation, right? The rest is just decor. And, I personally don't think there's anything wrong with the decor, right? We often talk about, well, maybe not all of us, but my friends and I often talk about how our life choices are mostly a matter of aesthetics, right? And Oscar Wilde so beautifully sums that up in so many of his pieces. But this, I really feel like, is at the core of that moment when it becomes necessary to get beneath the flirtation and down to the business of dying, right? Of really getting filled with that beautiful gift that is glancing into the complete absurdity of it all, right? So, if you have any comments on this poem or want to discuss it further, I am going to be opening up a space that will hopefully birth into a more consistent space where we're going to discuss a poem at the beginning, the first time we meet, which I'll be announcing in an email tomorrow. We're going to discuss this poem, and then we are going to practice some surrealist and somatic writing techniques that help us to excavate our unconscious and create not only aesthetic beauty and enchantment, but also hopefully a little of alchemical magic for your unconscious. So, we're going to be meeting this Wednesday at 7 p.m., and I'll be sending out a Zoom link. And that's something that I'll probably be posting in my link tree as well. But if you want to go and sign up for my email list, then you'll also get an announcement about it on Monday, tomorrow, on Monday, and on Wednesday. And if you have any comments about the poem or anything else you want to chat about, you can press that in the put that in the comments below.